Good morning, class. Today we are going to discuss about your next chapter, that is matter, solid, liquid, and gases. First of all, what is matter? Everything around us which occupies space and have mass is called matter. For example, your table is also a matter. This marker, it is also a matter. Even the clothes you are wearing, it is also considered as matter. Also, everything, for example, your ball, your chalk, duster, pen, everything around you which occupies space and have mass is called matter. Now, what do I mean by occupying space? For example, consider this glass of water. See, this glass is half empty, right? Now, what we are going to see that how matter occupies space. For example, if I drop these stones into this glass of water, see, this stone, what it has done basically, when I drop this stone into this glass, it has gone down and occupies space, right? Now, if I put two or three or more stones, what you will see? You will see that the water level has risen up, and if I start putting more stones into it, you will see that water will start pushing out. It will come out of this glass. So what we can conclude with this activity is basically, if we add more matter to the object, for example, we have dropped few pieces of stone into the water, we will see that it will become heavier, right? It will occupy more mass, and also it will occupy more space. For example, the pieces of stones have occupied space into the glass of water after pushing the water around it. So, adding more mass will increase the weight of the object, and also it will occupy space. That's how matter occupies space and it has mass. So we can conclude that anything which occupies space and have mass is called matter. Now you must have seen that matter is of different shape and sizes. If we consider a table, a marker, a duster, we will see that it has different shapes. It also has different states. For example, you will see a football which is filled up with the air, right? And you will see that this glass of water, right? It is also a matter, and the liquid into it is also a matter. So the wood, the football, the water, and the air is different states of matter. So the matter exists in three different states, that are solid, liquid, and gases, which are called states of matter. Now let us discuss about the three different stages. First one is solid. For example, your marker, right? And also this duster. See, these have different shapes, right? Now, why they do have these different shapes? For this, you have to understand how matter is made up of, how these have different shapes and sizes. See, matter is made up of very small, tiny particles. For example, you have seen sugar, right? You have seen that sugar, tiny, tiny sugar molecules, right? Sugar crystals. If you crush those crystals, you will see the powdered form, right? So, by this, what we can conclude? We can conclude that that sugar crystal is made up of very tiny particles. Likewise, all the matter is made up of very tiny particles, which are called molecules. These molecules arrange themselves in different ways so that they can have different states of matter. For example, in solid, the arrangement of molecule is different, and in liquid, the arrangement of molecule is different. In solid, what is the arrangement of the molecules? See, the arrangement is like this. These circles are molecules. Now, the molecules, you can see that the molecules are closely packed. They are tightly packed. You can't see any spaces in between them. So, in solid, the molecules do not have spaces in between them. That's why the solids have a definite shape. And because of this molecule arrangement, they do not have any spaces in between them. Also, because of that, they have a definite volume. Next is flowability. See, this marker, it can flow? No. Suppose if I drop this glass of water, if I pour down this liquid down, you will see that it can flow. But can this happen with this marker? No, it cannot happen with this marker because the molecular arrangement do not have spaces in between them. That's why solids can't flow. They do not have the ability to flow. So, what are the properties that solid have? The molecule arrangement is rigid. They do not have spaces in between them. They have a particular shape. They have a definite volume, and they do not have the ability to flow. Next is liquid. Now, see, if we compare solid and liquid, what we will see? This is a liquid, right? And this is a solid. We can see that this has the ability to flow. Whether solids do not have the ability to flow. Why is that? This is also because of the molecular arrangement. Now, the molecular arrangement of the liquid is basically like this. The molecules are not that tightly packed. They have spaces in between. That's why the liquid have the ability to flow. The molecules can move around and they can be poured from one container to another. This is why liquids do not have a definite shape. See, when you will pour it into a different container, you will see that liquid occupy the shape of that container. The liquids do not have a definite shape, but they have a particular volume. They have a definite volume. And how is that? Because they take the shape of any container. So that's why they have a particular volume. Next is gases. See, the molecules in the gases are very loosely packed. The spaces between the gaseous molecule is very large. For example, like this. See, you can see there is this large space in between the molecules. For example, air. Air is a gas, right? The molecules can move randomly around and they can travel a lot more distance than the liquid. So, if we compare these three, what we will see, the molecular arrangement of solids is very tightly packed. Liquids are loosely packed than solids, but tightly packed than gases. And gases are very loosely packed than solids and liquids. Now, the next thing is the shape. If you fill up the gas in any container, for example, in football, if you fill up the gas, you will see that the gas will take the shape of the football. And if you fill the gas into any container like a drum, it will take the shape of that drum. So we can say that gases have the ability to flow and they can get the shape of any container. They do not have any fixed shape. Also, the gases do not have any definite volume. They will fill up any container in which you will fill it. So, the gases, for example, oxygen, carbon dioxide, hydrogen, air, nitrogen, all these do not have a definite volume. They do not have any definite shape. They have spaces in between them which are very large, larger than solids and liquids, and they have the ability to flow. So what we have discussed in this class is basically what is matter. Anything which occupies space and have mass is called matter. There are three different states of matter. First is solid, second is liquid, third is gases. Solids, the molecules are very tightly packed. They have a definite shape and a definite volume. They do not have the ability to flow. Liquids, they are very loosely packed. Then solids, they have spaces in between them, and they do not have a fixed shape, but they have a definite volume. Next is gases. Gases are very loosely packed than solids and liquids. They have larger spaces between them. They have the ability to flow. They do not have a definite shape, neither a definite volume. Okay class, this will be all for today. Thank you for listening.